Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We're at the end of the year, so today we will be discussing what to do in your gardens in December. This month is a great time of year to plant out those bare root fruit trees, shrubs and roses. You can usually get these ordered online and they will arrive to you without any soil around the roots, meaning they are ready to go in the ground straight away. So make sure you prepare your ground, put plenty of fresh compost in them so that the roots get a lot of nutrients straight away. And also it's a good idea to put a bit of mulch around the top once you've filled in the hole that you're planting your tree or shrub in, just to help retain the moisture into that soil and also protect it from any frost as well. You can give certain things a hard prune back in December, things such as apples and pears, acers, birches and vines as well can all have quite a harsh trim back at this time of year as the plants are dormant. Some plants you can take a bit of a prune to, not necessarily because they need it or because they are dormant, but because you might want to use the foliage to bring indoors for your Christmas decorations. So things like pine, spruce, conifer, holly, those sort of things you can cut in December and bring indoors. It is quite traditional to do this, certainly here in Ireland, and we did it back in the UK as well. It just is a reminder that things are still growing and to bring greenery into the household and what is usually a quieter time of year for planting. If you're using a real Christmas tree this year, once you have purchased it from the seller, make sure you put it in a bucket of water so that it stays as fresh as possible for as long as possible. Certain things like heatings, radiators and things like that, by fires, it can definitely dry out quicker. So to prevent any fire hazards, definitely make sure it is kept in a bucket of water throughout the holiday season. You can cut back on the amount of watering that you're doing. Water very sparingly, as there is far more moisture in the soil at this time of year. You will definitely not need to water half as much. Same with your houseplants as well. They also will be kind of slowing down and going into more dormant times of the growing, so you will not need to water your indoor plants quite as much either. You can also repot any pot-bound house plants. Make sure you clean the leaves. Also check any plants indoor or outdoor for any pests. It's best to stay vigilant, and if you do notice pests, to treat them straight away. With the cooler temperatures coming in for December, you may want to move some of your outdoor plants into a more shaded area so that they won't get the brunt of those cool winds and potentially snowy weather or chilly weather. I usually just put them up against a fence that is, facing the prevailing winds so that it gives them a bit of shelter. Terracotta pots also may need a bit of extra protection. You can either wrap them in bubble wrap, or you can move them into a warmer area such as a polytunnel or a greenhouse, just to protect them over the winter, as they can crack due to very low temperatures. Mulching will be a huge part of your garden schedule in December. You can use things such as compost, leaf mulch or straw to mulch around the base of your plants. This will help to ensure that the moisture stays in the soil. It will break down and eventually feed the microbes in the soil as well, which will be beneficial to those plants. And if you have any root crops that still need harvesting, then it also ensures that the soil does not completely freeze during frosty weather, so that you can harvest those root crops more easily. Other crops that you can harvest during December can include leeks, parsnips, winter cabbages and your Brussels sprouts, as well as any remaining root crops that are still in the ground. If you do still have brassicas growing in the garden in December, you may want to cover them with netting to protect them from pigeons in particular. And you can also start to remove the yellowing leaves or the dying leaves. This will just help prevent any fungal diseases from spreading to those plants. As well as the harvesting, you can also start to sow some seeds in December, ready for an early spring crop. You can sow snapdragons, basil, chives and dill, as well as winter hardy lettuces to get ahead in the spring season. Now is also a good time to lift and divide any rhubarb that you may have. Once replanting, you can use well-rotted manure to enrich the soil where your rhubarb will be growing. December is a great month to get ahead of cleaning and tidying your garden spaces and your tools if you haven't already. So you can always make yourself a little list of things that need to be cleaned and tidied throughout December while it is a quieter part of the season. Other than that, the only other things to really get ahead on in December is to potentially start ordering your summer bulbs if they are available, and to just plan your crops for the year ahead, maybe looking back at what didn't quite work this year and seeing if we can tweak that to make it work for us in the next season. But now is mainly a time for planning and looking forward to the season ahead. That doesn't just go for the seeds and the plants that you may want to grow. This also goes for the beekeeping as well. December is a great time to be ordering any equipment that you might need, any equipment you might need to replace, and to get ahead of the beekeeping season before it kicks off again in the spring. Don't forget to hang some bird feeders out as well. Obviously their food sources are dwindling a little as the temperatures drop as well, all the bugs are dying off. So put a little bird feeder out to encourage them to come to you and to help them through the winter as well. That is more or less it for this video. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to those who have subscribed to the channel. We reached over 100 subscribers back in November, which I'm so delighted with. I'm really pleased we're building a little community here, and really delighted to have you along for the journey. Next year will be very exciting projects coming ahead with our new garden and lots of new things to be setting up and doing over there. So do subscribe and follow along for that journey. In the meantime, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks so much. We'll see you in 2026.